Hello and welcome to Art
Hey,
Life Unwrapped. Hi Aqaba, I'm joined by Jack, Andrew, James and hopefully Mark, who make up Aqaba. It's nice to see you guys, thanks for joining.
No problem, thanks for having us.
I just want to like
Aqaba without the qu.
Aqaba.
There we go.
Ah, okay. What? Wow, okay. Like a cappella kind
There's
of
no
thing.
you in it.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, no, sorry.
Yes, I helped put the website together, and I think I put you in like the spelling in quite a few places. So we all do it. Don't worry.
Okay, sorry. No, I definitely should have checked that first. Aqaba. What's the story behind that name? Where did that come from?
Okay. You've only got 30 minutes. Yeah. The Aqaba is a port on the Dead Sea coast. On the Red Sea, sorry, in Jordan, and it features in a film called Lawrence of Arabia. And it was strategically important to Lawrence of Arabia in the First World War, and it was difficult to get to. So he said the only way to sort the problem out was to go across the desert to Aqaba and attack it from the land. And they said, you can't do that. Everyone will die in the desert. And he said, Aqaba is that way. It's only a question of going. So it's like to me, it's like a symbol of something. Just fucking do it. Just do it.
Oh,
so,
great.
right?
I love that.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
So that's the story.
It's got nothing to do with a cappella. Which is what I suddenly thought when you said the pronunciation.
Well, actually, we do know some Aqaba. So,
Yeah.
No.
That's amazing. Cool. Thank you for sharing that with us.
I didn't know that actually. That's the first time I'd heard it as well. So.
Well, you were spelling it with a U.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm still playing.
Aqaba, yeah. And so you're behind the website. I thought the website was amazing when I first came across it.
Yeah, no, listen, I'm not going to pass myself off as any kind of anything. I just got the cheapest and freest looking thing that I could put images on there and chucked it on. But I'm not a website designer. So
I thought it was really cool. When I went on it, it was like it had like the name and then like a thing, and then you pressed it and then some other stuff happened. It was really cool. It was minimalist. I remember writing that.
You did say minimalist.
Yeah, I wrote that in the email. I was like, I love it. It's so Scandinavian.
That's what we went for, that minimalist look.
Did you get criticised for being too minimalist?
No, not criticism.
Wasn't it your friend? Was it he said it's not enough colour on there or something?
Oh, something like that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, I thought it was great. Yeah, cool.
Feather in my cap, I'll take that.
You what?
It's another feather in my cap. I'll have
that. So how did you guys get together as a band?
About 4 years ago, I suppose. I had some songs that I wanted to perform, and so I knew people who could play, and James said he'd play drums, and Mark, who's not here, who's in Trowbridge, I knew him as a keyboard player, so the three of us played a few gigs, just a couple of covers and then playing a couple of my songs. And then we put a few more together and got an EP together, then wanted to perform it live. So Jack joined on bass. And I thought that was that. And then I said, well, okay, that's thanks very much. And they said, well, we're not stopping, are we? So we sort of carried on. So we did another EP and then we've just done the album. So it's 4 years down the line and a lockdown in between. So.
Amazing. And your first EP was A Question of Going, yeah? Or was it done?
From Lawrence of Arabia.
Which I just clicked when you said that as well. Yeah, I was like, oh, that's where it's come from.
Blimey, it's almost like we rehearsed this intro.
That's all coming together.
Me and Jack used to play together at school in a little band.
Yeah,
doing some instrumental stuff.
So I think there was always this urge to carry on playing. The band finished because grew up and people went to uni and things stopped happening. And when the opportunity came up to start playing live again, it was like, why not? It was fun. Let's do it. And
fun.
Yeah, it's been one of those sort of never look back moments. It's been really cool.
So you knew each other from school, and then how did you know Andrew before?
So Andrew is
I'm his dad.
James is
my
dad.
Cool. Wow, so you guys go way back.
We go way back.
Okay, that's really nice. And how do you find like the father-son combination on stage and stuff and working together?
Well, I've always wanted to ask you that.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I'm quite truthful with song ideas sometimes. Maybe a
Absolutely.
bit too so, but
No, that's great.
But
I
it
mean, that's
works
what you
fine.
want in a band, isn't it? That's what you get. You know, you want people to tell you when that is really bad, or that's a really bad idea for a song. That just sounds too much like Oasis or whatever it is. So, so you know, you need that openness. So yeah, no holds barred.
Yeah, James will tell it as it is to Andrew in ways that me and Mark will just be like, okay, you know, well, maybe Gunn will say something to him to casually say it to his dad. But,
it's good to have that family member who can just criticize.
Yeah.
Nice.
No, serious though, it's really magical because I mean, not many. I can't imagine playing in a band with my dad. I mean, even if he'd been a musician. But you know, I just so it's an absolute privilege. So
Yeah, no, I bet it's
magic.
amazing.
But the main thing is he's a really good drummer. So it's just great.
So
I mean, I'm I never have to think about it. It's great.
That's really nice. Do you guys have a similar kind of music that you listen to? Is it similar to the music you produce, or like what's the situation there?
Listen to all sorts of stuff, really.
Yeah.
So yeah, someone asked me, you know, what are your influences, and I thought, well, I think for our music, we would probably cite things like The National, Death Cab, Frightened Rabbit, those sorts of things.
Oh, really?
Maybe, but you know, are they just things we like, or do they actually influence us, or you know, is it something else? So I don't know.
I could maybe hear a sort of Frightened Rabbit in the vocals. Maybe there was something nostalgic about the vocals I found, and I couldn't quite figure out who it reminded me of. It was like a combo of things I'd listened to as like a kid growing up, and I was like, oh, so nice. But yeah, another thing I want to say, when I listened to your new album Dry the Rain today, I listened to it. And I really, really like Landslide. The opening beat of Landslide reminded me of Deep Forest. Did you? It was like do you know Deep Forest?
No,
Oh, okay. The song didn't go on to sound anything like Deep Forest, but like the opening beat really reminded me of Deep Forest. I was like, oh my God, it was kind of like I was on a journey somewhere, and then obviously your kind of style. But I thought that was a very different kind of sound to the other songs that you'd put together, like a really different sound. I don't know if you guys felt
we got Zoe Newton singing on that. You know Zoe? Do you know Zoe Newton? No. Okay. Well.
You don't know Deep Forest. I don't know Zoe Newton. It's all good.
There was a story behind that beat actually in that first track as well.
Really? Please tell me.
Andrew had just purchased Logic Pro. Was it during lockdown you got it?
Yeah.
He'd always used Cubase and some recording things, and when this came to recording, Andrew had some more time than he normally did to record this, so he was experimenting with loads of different things. And we came down to the recording studio that he's got at the end of his garden and found a whole plethora of objects that he'd been hitting and whacking just to make random beats out of. And this one at Landslide,
it wasn't random.
No, it was. They've all got meaning to it, haven't they?
It was spiritual.
Probably each stone and pebble has probably got a story behind it. And the garden trowel.
It was a trowel, some tiles, and some pebbles.
Yeah. Which we were hoping was going to make a live appearance as well, but we haven't found anyone that can play the trowel yet. So.
Wow. So you made the beat in Landslide with a trowel and some stones and some
and some tiles, some slates.
Oh my God! Definitely bring that on the 19th of December, please. That'd be great.
Well, we'll bring it. We'll bring it on the sampler.
Yeah, that'd be so good.
We can do it live with the sampler.
Yeah, no, that would be awesome. Just to throw out there, Aqaba are playing 19th of December at Hall Pass Bar with Arts for Life. Everyone should come. I've got to remember to say that because I almost always forget, and then I say it at the end and not rush it. Yeah, I've just got to get it in there. You guys are playing. Have you got any more gigs coming up?
No.
So not even any like streaming.
We did the launch one in town here in Bradford-on-Avon a couple of weeks ago now, and now we're looking. That was great. It was really good. Yeah. So really well.
And that was on the 21st.
21st. Yeah. That was Olea Mediterranean. Give them a plug. Lovely guys. That was really good, and we're now looking for another one locally to to do it. Yeah. So
Spread the
but
word
it's
of
all a bit,
driving.
it's all a bit Christmas and
Yeah,
COVID at the moment. So it's
yeah, of course, a bit hit and miss.
mhm.
I don't want to come back. It sounds scary. I do want to ask. I was looking at the album cover of Dry the Rain, and I kind of want to know the story behind that. Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Lovely. Please talk to me about the composition of that. That looks great.
Over to you.
Yeah, and take the reins.
Right. Okay. Well, I wanted some. It came from the Landslide track, really, because I really am not going to bore you with the detail of the Landslide track, but if I
Please
just
do.
say it has a Lyme Regis reference in there. So I wanted fossils at Lyme Regis Beach in that song on the cover. So hence the picture of the ammonite pavement at Lyme Regis on the cover, and then a few other obvious reference points like the clock and the mirror and those sorts of things. They just reference things in the music in my head, but they are really in my head rather than explicit. So
it's just like a picture that draws together all the musical elements of the album.
some of the symbolism of the overall album, I think. Yeah.
Okay, nice.
Time, space, stars, fossils.
Okay, nice. Some great things there. And what was it like? What did you write all the songs for this album during the lockdown?
Yeah.
All of them. There wasn't any.
All bar one.
Yeah.
What was
Perfect Sky.
What was the Perfect Sky?
Perfect Sky Perfect Sky's been around for a very long time, and it's had different versions, and I just thought we'd put it on this one. So it actually joined the party quite late.
Okay.
We had another song which was going on, and we decided to drop the other one, and you'd do that instead. So.
Okay, I think you've got a recording of Perfect Sky on your website, don't you?
Oh, is
You
that
know
like
what? I feel like that might have been.
Oh, the live one. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. It doesn't get to the good bit with the megaphone.
There's a megaphone.
Yeah, the megaphone's at the end.
I think
and
you're poised with it in the video, and it just cuts
yeah,
off. Yeah.
Oh no.
yeah. When we used to do that live, we would I'd loop the guitar bit and then get the megaphone, and we'd do the megaphone bit at the end. So it was quite exciting, and the guy managed to stop filming just before that bit.
No, I bet he was gone.
I know.
But maybe he was just living in the moment. He was just really in the moment with the megaphone.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's always in your arse, isn't it? The
It's always
megaphone.
there.
Yeah, just in case.
What made you want to bring a megaphone into it? Just experimental.
Why not?
I don't know.
Same reason you wanted to get the trowel in.
Maybe bring a trowel in. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
That's cool. Okay.
Do these things.
And so you write all the songs, Andrew?
I start off with the idea of the songs. Yeah.
Okay. And then
Then
share?
they change and develop, and we drop bits and so on. But
It works differently though, because there were a couple off of this one where you pretty much had a full demo track with drums.
Yeah.
Not always bass. Almost a fully formed track that we then work on. But then a couple of the ones, might have even been Landslide, came together pretty quickly towards the end, didn't they?
Yeah.
And there was no demo there.
No.
Yeah.
And they were more successful, actually. I think the downside of lockdown was that because we couldn't get together, I was doing a lot of recording myself. So I ended up putting too much into the production of them. And then we almost ended up trying to recreate those demos with the band.
Right.
It almost ended up like being doing a cover of the demo. The more successful songs, I think, on the album are the ones like Landslide, A Different Blue, and The Call, which came together as a band, where we start with an idea and we throw ideas around and we kick bits out. Those are the ones I think we feel more group ownership of.
Right. Okay. And this is a question I always like to ask. When you write music, do you write the music first or the lyrics, or kind of both together? How does it work? Do you put music to lyrics or lyrics to music, or a bit of both?
Yeah. No, I don't know other guys, but
I don't do lyrics, so
I feel like you always have a lyric in you,
Yeah, I tend to get a lyric from something I've read or seen, or a phrase comes to mind, and then I think of a type of song that might be good for that lyric, and then yeah, I think that's usually the way it works. I really wanted to write a song like the landslide. I've got pages in my notebook of lyric ideas, trying to get these ideas down. Probably before I had the music, yeah. So
wow, that's
lyrics first.
Really, that's really interesting.
Well, a lyric starter, then the music, and then
the rest
build
of the
up the
lyric.
lyric.
Okay, cool. I've heard it kind of the other way around. They kind of had a song and then they put words to the song. So that's why I like to ask questions, because everyone's different. But that's cool.
Yeah.
And how do you think your music has kind of developed from sort of 2018 or 2019 to now?
Yeah. I think it's got broader in it. It was a bit strummy guitar-y when we started, because that's what I did. So I've sort of I've developed sort of I think the range of genre that we tackle. We tried things a bit more adventurous and playing safe. If you listen to the early tracks, they're quite strummy and safe and middle of the road type sound, and I think they get a bit edgier as we move on.
Totally. What has been the best kind of experience with experimenting, other than the trowel? I've already talked about the trowel. Another like crazy, and maybe not the megaphone either.
Not the megaphone.
Well, we have got some bits in songs where we're all singing at the same time.
Yeah,
that's quite good. Getting some harmonies going.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, definitely.
Like pushing everyone's boundaries a little bit in certain things that we do. I quite like watching Andrew tell James the kind of drums that he wants in a certain section.
Yeah.
Because whenever you try and describe something to a drummer, you can't just describe it. So there's lots of hand gestures and then maybe a beatbox to go with it.
Yeah.
And then James saying, I've only got two hands. How the hell do you expect me to do that? And then Andrew saying, I bought a looper, so we'll loop something and then have that in the mix as well. So I feel like technology started leading us down a path a little bit as well. Now you've got a nice pedal board that you're experimenting with. You've got some cool effects on there. Mark's we're always expecting to have about 6 arms. Mark. Like Mark's got a Nord and he's got an Electro on top, so he's got access to all kinds of crazy sounds. And I just think we're sort of pushing the sounds a little more than maybe the early days.
Definitely.
Definitely getting a bit more experimental. When you find a sound that you want, Andrew, you hunt it down like.
But it's that same thing about, it's just a question of going, if you want that, we want to play it like that. How do we make it happen? You don't say, well, we can't do it. We just find a way. So it's that sort of problem solving thing. So I think James hit it on the head there when he said about the vocals. My favorite thing is when we've got all 4 of us singing and it's in harmony. Obviously if it's not in harmony, it's not. When it's in harmony, it is really good. We did one song from the last EP. When we performed that, we actually did an a cappella section in it, a chorus, and that was just very powerful.
Which song was that?
That was Rage and Fury.
Okay.
We did one. It's not on the album. It's not on the EP.
It came afterwards, didn't it?
We just decided to do it. Yeah.
I
think we were going to Cornwall, and that film Fisherman's Friends had been out, so we thought, let's do an a cappella chorus of this song. So we were playing in Cornwall, so we did it for them, really.
I think the fishermen appreciated it.
They did.
That's nice. And so you feel like your music has kind of become broader, and that's your sound, or it's kind of moved into a sound that's Aqaba now?
I think it's developed in its fullness of how we present it. I think we put a couple of the songs in the set from the earlier EPs, and they fit, and they are still. A friend of mine said the other day, I listened to the early EPs, and they are still very much Aqaba songs. So I think we've got the same style coming on, but I think we've just got more experimental, really. That's all.
I think I'd completely agree with that, because when I listened to Dry the Rain today for the first time, I was like, oh yeah, and then obviously I wanted to listen to your earlier music to kind of get a comparison. And when I initially listened to the early music, I was like, yeah, it's different because it's like this, and then I listened to Dry the Rain again, and I was like, oh, it's actually very similar, but also still quite different, and I can't really figure out why it's different and what I'm feeling. But I would completely agree with that. I think you've got a really strong style. but there has
Yeah.
been a change, which is nice.
Yeah.
But
The
yeah,
bit in the when we start the set in the second verse of the first song. Oh no! Oh, we lost it. That's right. There's in the second verse of the first song when all the vocals come in, and that sends a shiver down my spine every time we do it. I love it. It's just so good. I like that. It's my favourite.
yeah, sort of
Hope you like it
like
too.
washed over by sound. Pardon?
Yeah. I hope you like it too. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. And then when I was listening to Show Reel, one of the songs, I think that is that Dive, which I
Yes.
can't. It's Dive. You sing the lyric in my mind, and that really reminded me of the Smiths when he goes in my life, and it kind of flowed like that, and I was like, it's the Smiths, but it's not the Smiths.
Yeah.
You don't sound.
No, I like it that you picked out that one, because that is one of the tracks that we put into the set that we're doing now with the new album. We keep that one.
Oh, great. Right, the set you'll be playing.
Well, the set we do in a full show. We can't. Obviously, we're doing 30 minutes with yourself, so
yeah,
it won't necessarily feature there. But in fact, we haven't decided on the set for that yet. So, but in the full show, we would put that one in.
Yeah. And how have you found performing since the whole COVID thing? Have you guys performed since COVID? Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, the launch gig.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, and
we did one last summer. We did, didn't we? In the Gap.
Whereabouts?
Did we not do an outdoor one? Or my make or not?
Can't remember.
We did Lamb Yard, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did. We have done a couple. Yes. It's hard to remember. This lockdown's gone on forever, hasn't it? But
yeah. How's it been?
It's just brilliant to get back to do live music. I mean,
yeah.
It's just...
Is it the same? Is it different? Is it better? Is it worse? Is there hope?
Like it hasn't even crossed my mind, to be honest.
Really?
With you. I think it's just nice playing live. I think it's just one of those things that we'd normally take a long break between doing it anyway, and yeah, when we did the launch gig, it just felt normal to me now. It didn't feel like anything had changed too much. Yeah, no one dancing just yet, or not yet.
Really? Were people sat down?
It was kind of a sit-downish venue. People were milling around a little bit, but yeah, I think they were still feeling it. But you know, I mean, you've probably been to quite a few live gigs since COVID sort of lifted.
Not sit down one.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I don't agree with those. No, I'm joking. I do.
I told guys, like, I went to see John Hopkins on I think it was the day before lockdown came in, like in March 2019, and it was kind of, do you know John Hopkins? So he does sort of ambient stuff, and he does do kind of techno things as well. So it was a bit of a weird gig. People would sit down, listen and play piano, and then they'd do the techno thing, and everyone gets up and has a little break. But during one of the piano bits, it was all quiet. Everyone was listening to him play, and somebody sneezed, and the entire room just like separated around this one person. I remember at that point thinking, live music is going to be weird at this point onwards.
Yeah.
Like, everyone was super scared at that time, and it was just,
no, totally. In fact, I think
I still feel like it hasn't really come back to normal yet.
No.
In those situations.
Yeah, it kind of feels like it isn't going to come back to normal for a bit, like based on things I'm hearing.
Yeah.
I don't watch anything.
It's just up and down. They keep keep changing, don't they?
Yeah. But I remember when gigs like opened up again, and not even gigs, like when you like club, not like DJ sets and stuff opened up again, and it was like sit down, you pay for a table. I was like, I'm not doing that. I need to dance, dance to music. But yeah, no, it must be so strange for artists. And then I noticed you guys played. I've read that you played a couple gigs as well. Festivals. Obviously, you play gigs. And I kind of wanted to ask what that's like. Like, what's it like playing festivals?
What, in lockdown?
No.
Well, that was just
in
generally.
general. Yeah. Because
well, when you do like our showcase gig, you can take all day setting up, can't you, and sound checking.
Yeah.
And basically you can't with a festival.
Really?
That's it. That's the difference.
Okay.
It's pot luck as to how it sounds.
Okay, that's kind of cool. Living on the edge, experimental. Got the megaphone, got the trowel.
Yeah,
all good.
Try and keep as much control as you can, but it's you know, it's difficult when you've got a limited changeover time.
Right, yeah. I kind of meant in terms of like ambience, because you know how people go to festivals with a different kind of mentality to when they go to gigs. Like, do you prefer?
Well, if it's outdoors, then people are quite relaxed about it because they can stay away from each other and everything. I think by and large, people have been pretty compliant with all the rules. You know, so it hasn't really been, you know, in our part of the world, it hasn't been particularly a problem of people having, you know, being difficult with the rules and everything. So I think people feel more comfortable in a festival environment.
Yeah. Have you played festivals since COVID happened? I was still talking just about festivals in general, not so much to do with COVID. But you've played festivals since COVID?
Well, only a little one in town. Yeah, only a little one that we put on here.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. I love festivals. I love camping. It's great. Do you guys go to festivals separate to gigging?
Yeah.
You're a festival fan, mate.
Oh no, I'm not so much anymore. No, not really. I'm not getting too old. It's just, no, I actually prefer going to see the band you want to see, really.
Yeah, okay. You don't like the whole having to hang about and be drunk.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. That's cool. What do you guys do other than music?
Nothing. That's what I do.
It's now become your thing.
I make bread and songs.
You make bread and songs. That's pretty cool.
That's it.
Have you ever written a song about making bread?
No.
It's coming on.
No, but now you mention it.
Of course. What about James and Jack?
Well, outside of work, into my board games.
Really?
Yeah, quite like board games.
Like
walking, that kind of thing. Not chess, no.
I can say walking. I can say walking. I do a lot of walking.
Yeah, you're an outdoorsy guy.
Yeah, I like mountains and
you guys
stuff.
love hiking up mountains.
Yeah.
You guys are well outdoorsy. Yeah.
hiking up mountains?
Yeah, these guys are always up some mountain whenever I leave
Really?
the island. Yeah.
Not for a while. Yeah, last one was Scaffold Pike, wasn't it? My last one was your last one was Snowdon.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can climb stairs. That's probably about as far as it goes. So,
Yes, what do you do, Jack?
yeah, exactly. What do I do? Oh, yeah. So I work for a coffee company in Bristol, a roastery in Bristol.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'm one of their coffee machine technicians. So, yeah, that pretty much dominates most of my life outside of work.
You're a coffee machine technician.
Yeah, it's really niche, isn't it? I know.
That is so niche. What does that? You put together coffee machines?
Kind of, or like when they break, put them back together again. It's nowhere near as glamorous. Doesn't sound glamorous, though. But it's
Well, they can phone from anywhere in the west country. Well, no, anywhere in the south of England.
pretty much England from Birmingham down, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he drives off
All over the
in his superhero outfit and saves the day.
It's like a giant coffee bean with a
Pretty
cake.
much, yeah.
Do you like coffee?
Do I like coffee? Do you know what? Actually, that's quite funny. I've got both of you into coffee a little bit. I feel like a bit of a snob, actually, because when I first started coming to rehearsals, like, you guys just drink a lot of coffee, you wouldn't care how it was made. And then I would start talking about little processes and got you into using AeroPresses and stuff.
Yeah.
And now it's like a bit of a running joke that if they're making coffee, there's a bit of a worry doing it for me because I'm going to be a snob about it, but I don't really care. It's either done right or you don't do it at all. So.
Wow. Did you like coffee and for that reason you went into?
The last job I had, I just liked the fact that I could make coffee any time of day I wanted. I worked in like a bistro as front of house.
Yeah.
And when they sold the business, I was looking for jobs and my only criteria was someone that would give me free coffee while I worked. And I saw this coffee roastery job and I was like, a roastery's got to have coffee in, and yeah, it does. So it ticked the box. So yeah, it's been pretty much just that. But you know, it's good to have. This is why having this band is such a nice outlet, because I think, especially for me and James, like work can dominate the week completely. And if it wasn't for having rehearsals midweek and just getting us out of our flats and houses and things, it could be just getting caught into the routine. And it is just so fun rehearsing, playing live. And being creative again. It's just something, if I hadn't joined these guys doing it, then I'm pretty sure I wouldn't be doing it anyway. So yeah, it came at a good time 4 years ago, and I'm really glad I've stuck with it.
Yeah, no, I totally hear you. Getting creative again is just so nice. Like I've been spending this time learning to read tarot cards, and I'm designing my own pack of tarot cards so that I can learn what each of them mean. And it just means I get to sketch all day and read, and that's why I don't ever want to come back and get a job. So yeah, but anyway, we've come to 30 minutes, and I'm sorry it kind of went off on a coffee tangent there, but it was really interesting. I love learning that aspect of the band.
Always going to end up there.
Yeah, all roads lead to coffee technician. But it was so nice chatting to you guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. And yeah, give it up for Aqaba. Sorry, I keep wanting to say Aqaba. Bye.